Ladies and gentlemen, for the ones in attendance and the millions watching around the world, the Big Bag Network presents the Highflying Podcast.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Biggie Bag Johnny, and this is the Highflying Podcast where we be drop kicking it with the boys. So make sure to body slam that like, share, and subscribe button. I am your host, Biggie Bag Johnny, back with another video. And today we're going over the last 2 weeks. Now, tomorrow is another review, but today we're going over the last 2 weeks that went on Dark Side of the Ring. Now, you guys know every video I say this is my favorite segment, and this is what I love to do because I literally enjoy this show. This show gets you. It makes you become a fan. It makes you realize things that you didn't know before. It makes you realize some shit. It exposes the business enough to where it's just like, damn. I mean, you knew things was there, and this season, I'm gonna say this season's a little bit more dark, and it hits a little bit more home to family men. It's not as dark as I would say like the last 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons, I feel like season 3 and 4 were very, just real crazy. You had the Abdullah story, you had the Von Erichs, you had a couple cats out there, and this last 2 weeks, since March 5th, we are in the 18th today. Tomorrow's a new episode, like I said. Since March 5th, we have had John Tenta, a.k.a. Earthquake, a.k.a. Shark, a.k.a. that guy, you know what I mean, John Tenta. And we have had Buff the Stuff Bagwell. I can dissect one by one, I'm going to dissect one by one just because I feel like these are two complete different stories of how shit got dark. All right. I feel like it got dark with John Tenta. We're gonna start with Earthquake. It got dark with John Tenta, where it was just like he was just your regular dad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like he was a superstar. I just feel like he was a dad in a superstar world. Like, he was taking care of a family. He had a immigrant wife and stepson, that was dealing with some shit, and he was on the road and this and that. And all he wanted to do was perform. Like he wanted to, perform as a dad, first of all. And, as a performer, just, fulfilling those qualities. And, he was hoping to be the next best thing, I'm sure, but it just wasn't working for him. And this is where it hit home for me, because it's like, and I'm sure a lot of guys, because my dad is the exact same way. And John Tenta, this story, it hit home because, and I said it in the video, this story made you want to go get checked out and call your dad, bro, because it made you feel like, you love your dad. For the guys that have a relationship with your dad, this story fucked up, because that I gotta go feed my family. I don't have time to take care of myself. So that's where it got dark, where it was like, okay, this dude, he was okay with working a 9 to 5. As they said, he was working a 9 to 5. He was in the mall, in the back, doing his little shit with the retail and shit. He did what he had to do to sweat his ass off. Salute to him. But he just never took care of himself. That's where it related to me, because I'm the same way. Me and my wife are the exact same way. We will not take care of ourselves because there's not enough time in the day I could just imagine as a, a wrestler or a celebrity to say, "Yo, I got to completely stop life and get checked out and stuff like that." Like me as a regular 9 to 5, a warehouse worker, and my wife as a nurse, we don't have time to really go get checked out. So him, having I think it would be a little different though because I don't have any children, so it'll be a little different. I look at my dogs and I hope nobody chews me up in the comments or nothing like that. But I look at my dogs and I want to be here for my dogs. Like I want to be. I never want to just, even though my dogs are just get used to the day without me around. I don't ever want to just not be here for my dogs. And John Cena, he was that embodiment of just working till you die. That was the story, and it got dark because it's life. It's life, whether or not you like it or not. You could work hard your whole motherfucking life, and you get nothing. They said he died and nobody showed up. I don't know if Tugboat didn't show up because he was claiming he was his best friend and hot cool and all these people that was like, the fatheads around there just talking shit. His wife said nobody gave them any flowers. They didn't receive no flowers from no company, no wrestlers. Nobody showed out for the 21 gun salute as a wrestler. Nobody did the 10 bell salute. You know what I mean? Nobody really showed out for my man. And that's life. You know what I mean? Some people, like, I'm not going to say any names, but some people could just go tomorrow and did only 2 years in the game, and the whole world remembers them. And then you have a hard worker like John Cena that he tried everything. He made everybody look good in the game. You know what I mean? And nobody cared, bro. And usually that's how it happens. The guys that really work hard and that is doing these shit and they don't get recognized. And this is why I love Dark Side of the Ring, because this is where the underrated gets seen. You know what I mean? The tugboats and the earthquakes. And, these guys that were great in the 90s. 90s was a hell of a time, bro. So in the 80s, earthquake was, coming close to early 90s type shit. So it's sad, but at the end of the day, it wasn't like, well, you work to, this is an everyday life. This is everyday life. People, unfortunately, bladder cancers would took John Cena, which is so sad. My condolences to his family and friends and that whole camp over there. Um, but yeah, it just seemed like life. Like it just really seemed like life. It just seemed like a regular guy that had a great job. You know what I mean? Like, would he wanted more? Yes, I really believe he would want more for his family, of course. You know what I mean? But would it have, maybe it might have made it worse. Him getting more might have made it worse. Who knows? But it wasn't dark. It was very mild. Like I said, it made me want to call my dad. It definitely made me cry. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I recorded that episode 8 times, 8 fucking times I recorded that episode, and it didn't work out for me, man. It just wasn't working out for me. But the first time I watched the episode, I cried. Every time of those 8 times that I watched that episode, when Haku was laughing, I was cracking up every time, and I know you guys was laughing too. I wanted to put the clip up here and let you guys laugh with me, because every time I see that clip, I go off. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about John Cena's uh, Dark Side Earthquake. Like I said, man, call your dad, go get checked out, man. Grind every day like it should last. Um, the one-liners I was getting from that, you know, it just made me really want to be a better person, and just, the picture with him and his wife made me love my wife more. He loved his wife. He knew he loved his wife. And it made me love my wife more, because it's like, that's all a real man wants to do. He wants to provide for his family. He wants to provide for his household. And especially when that's his job. Everybody is like, oh, they want to play house. But when it's time for them bills to come in, the motherfuckers is $2,000 a month, and motherfuckers is only making $900 a month between the two. Yeah. So made me love my wife more. I love the pictures. I love the way they represented them as a family. They all look good. I was mad at his son's teeth. Like, geez, bro. Like, it just was disgusting. Like, why would you come on, like, there's veneers, caps, something, you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect, but goddamn, boy. You know what I mean? You could tell you wasn't your daddy's boy. But shouts out to John Cena, man. Everything that he did for the company, for ECW, WWF, didn't know he was Golga. If y'all knew that man was Golga, you're lying. Never knew the dude in the oddities with the motherfucking Kenny doll, that was Earthquake. Didn't know that. He was my favorite oddity. If you think I'm lying, go check the 1998 Royal Rumble. He was in there, and he did a fucking fantastic job. I believe he was number 3 or 4, and he lasted a little while too. That was week 1. Week 2 was some real white people shit. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I hope this doesn't get took down or nothing, but listen. I dislike this episode in so many different ways, because it was like, first of all, I'm real good with my dad. I have a real on and off with my dad. So these stories, it hit home on certain shit, but then again, it was just like, bro, what? Basically, what it was, Buff Bagwell was one of the guys where he was the pretty boy at school. That he had the rich people lifestyle, and was, he was the preppy at school. He was the jock preppy, where he was good at softball or basketball or whatever the fuck he was playing. All his brothers was good at it. They all made a name. They all had a successful company the whole town knew about. Everybody knew this dude. Everybody knew he had money. He knew he had money. He knew and he probably was a real cool kid. He probably wasn't even a real asshole. He probably was a cool kid back in the day, because that's how I was, and then I just became an asshole. Just had it good his whole life. His dad provided that. I truly believe his dad had that, and he had a strong mom behind that. And this is me listening to the story. His dad was the success and the money, the piggy bank. His mom understood that. She had a strong head, took over the businesses. They were doing good, and then when they weren't, they weren't. And when they weren't doing good, the relationship wasn't doing good, which meant the family wasn't doing good. So I feel like everybody had their cars, and everybody had their little business going on. You know what I mean? 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds going out to the club with cocaine and money, and going to school with Corvettes, and the mom owning a lumber spot. And, the dad just seems like a cool, chill dude. He loses a poker game. He want to shoot up his property. That's what he want to do. He could do that. He did that. All right. What I didn't like was as soon as the money was gone, Buff's mom was like, "Yo, I'm out." Like she was like, I'm not doing this with y'all. Like I'm leaving." Like she didn't say, "Yo, Marcus, we out. Fuck your dad because he's a piece of shit. He's beating me and all of this." Like it was like, nah, the money was there. It wasn't like, yo, he was always beating her. It was like, yo, the money was. It was a frustration spot between the both of them. They started getting into it. Some shit happened. She's dipping on the family, and he's on some like, you ain't going about to take my car and leave my, me with everything. White people shit. You had it all, and when you had it all, you was there. You ain't never have a motherfucking incident like this when you was rich. For better or worse, bitch. Sorry. Better or fucking worse. So bam, excuse me. So you do all of that. Then when you're about to leave, this man in his car from the house that y'all made with your kid that is still in his room that has no idea what the fuck's going on at this point. Now all of a sudden you want to be on some like, because they didn't say, yo, he was beating her and he had to get her off of her and shoot her there. It was an argument. A simple verbal argument. It might have been grabbing her like, yo, you're going to get the fuck out of my car. You know what I mean? Grabbing the keys, but there was no beating. I don't believe that's what he said. I know he was saying that there was, but not at that very moment. So what Buff does, what Marcus Bagwell does, he goes, gets his gun, and then he proceeds to go handle his business with his dad while he's, because his mom's is yelling out for him to help. Now you got this strap. Now me as a father, right? And I'm just saying, I'm not a father, but I can understand how furious you can be is where it's like you're losing everything. You're losing your family. You lost millions of dollars. This bitch just fucked the company up, and now she's trying to dip the fuck off and leave me this piece of shit. And now this piece of shit's running down to her aid after she just tried to leave him on me. And this motherfucker's trying to come with a gun to me. I got something for you, bro. So the nigga probably was drinking or whatever. Went to go get the gun and wanted to have a Mexican standoff. Now, here's where it's like, I get it, but at the same time, I get it. Once you went to go to that refrigerator, move that cereal of Kicks behind the Lucky Charms and the good fucking Frosted Flakes, and then you grabbed the strap and you pulled it on homeboy and you said, come on, big boy, and that nigga shot you, you asked for that. And as a man, he said he fessed up to that. Here's my thing. Who shot first? Because I believe they said he just shot him. It was like, bam, he just shot him. Just like, yo, bro, do you understand? I will disown everything about that family, bro. Like, what? Bitch, you try to leave me when the money was, you wasn't with me in the gym. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? And then you go and you try to leave me, and because of that argument of you trying to leave and me being frustrated, I get shot. And nigga, I done gave you everything. Corvettes at 15, golf carts, batting cages at the crib, indoor pools. Like, nigga, you had it all. Off of my expense. I get it, like your mom's was running, but nigga, I'm sure that came off of his dollar. Like, bam. The thing I didn't like about the Buff Bagwell shit was just like, you couldn't grind. You wanted just to be like, I understand that I have to grind with certain shit. I have to show my ass. I have to do some free shit. I have to give ideas. I have to do certain shit to pay my way. I need to do certain shit, bro. He just wanted to be Indies to Hulk Hogan. And he had the look. I'm not gonna lie. Back in the days, yo, I'm sure he had the look. And they said he was athletic. I honestly, I just the whole story was just like you was you would you still would be perfect today. You were the robot that is designed today. The person that wants to do his calves, like the dude said he had calf surgery. They said that he was gonna die if they kept him, and he thought about how could he keep him. Like you was worried that much on a look and how to be that. You know what I mean? You wanted to cheat your way, like you know what I mean? It just wasn't. It just was one of those things where it's just like you don't want to judge the dude because you got to do what you got to do. And at the time, I get it, but when you look back at it, 25, 30 years, however long it's been, and just to say, oh well, I was supposed to be the greatest in the world, but I was just a good. I just had a good run. That's horrible, bro. Like you're telling me that's all you was gonna be good at? Like that's it? You know what I mean? Like that was just like a snobbish dark side. Like, yeah, I was gonna be, bigger than Stone Cold and The Rock. And, if I didn't have that one bad match and I didn't Bagwell smack this dude, like, and then what, bro? Like there's no plan B or C or D. You don't got a 1, 2, 3. Like you have to at this point of life. You've been through everything. How much money? Like how did you have a successful run? And I'm sure you had touched not bullshit. You had to have touched millions because you was running with Hogan in them. You seen the shit that happened to your father. You almost bodied your father because of you going broke, and you don't make no good investments when you a wrestler on top. It just seems like with certain ones of these dark side of the rings, and I get it, a lot of it is because of the opiates and shit like that. It's a lot of excuses. Oh, I could have been the best, and I could have been. I'm sure, but if you're gonna be the best, you're gonna be the best somewhere. Zack Ryder, that motherfucker, he's the best because he was the best when the machine was against him, and then when he left the machine, he still was that dude. That means he was destined to be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Zack Ryder is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time because he can get over anywhere in the world by himself. He's getting money that WWE gets and breaks down into millions of people. He's getting it by himself. That's crazy. A lot of these dudes was like, well, I could have been some shit, but Vince, was just a dickhead. Dark side of the ring, man. I mean, let me know your thoughts, man. Because my thoughts of the Bagwell, it just was like really tasteless to me. Like I looked at it like you're you're okay with being called a has been, bro. Because what do you? I just seen Bagwell, and I would love to have an interview with him, and like I would have to tell him like, yo, that seemed like a lot of excuses. And that's a part of being under the influence. And I'm not judging him for any of it. I'm not criticizing him for any of it. But there was a lot of mistakes that you made in life, that your family made in life, that you had to just be like, man, come on. I'm rolling with Hollywood Hulk Hogan and the NWO. My neck, oh, I almost was paralyzed for life. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you had so many like encounters where it was like, it's over. It's over. Yeah. The first 2 weeks, man, I'm not gonna lie, it was controversial in my head. That's why I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just start doing these. And I've been wanting to do it for a while, but it just wasn't happening. But yeah, man, it was just weird. But it, it's I gotta see more. I want to know who's next. Who's next? Who is the next Dark Side? We'll find out. We're actually gonna do a Raw live tonight. And yeah, man, just let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see. And yeah, Dark Side of the Ring will be up there tomorrow. So check out the channel tomorrow, guys. And remember to like, share, and subscribe, man. Subscribe to the channel because I know a lot of you guys is watching this and you're not subscribing. So I need you guys to go subscribe to these right here. You see these right here? The Highflying Podcast on YouTube, Biggie Bag Johnny on Facebook and IG, and Burrow Luciano 1701 on Twitch. Go subscribe to those right there because it'll be very, very easy for you to find me. So let me know. Holla at your boy. It's your boy Biggie Bag Johnny. Let's go.
The Big Bag Network presents the Highflying Podcast, where we dive off the top higher than RVD and Matt Riddle's love child, with your host Biggie Bag Johnny. Subscribe to the channel and stay up to date on all things wrestling related. So grab your belts and bongs, bad bitches with thongs, and watch whatever episode that you want to put on. It's the Highflying Podcast with Biggie Bag Johnny. Let's go.